In the last video, we took this little equation and isolated the y variable and turned it into this little equation, just so we could get it in slope-intercept form. Okay, so that's kind of a nice thing to do in advance, so that, I mean, the book hasn't really gone over this yet, but it's a nice thing to get used to and figure out that these are just both equations, and they both have the two variables x and y, and you can put them in any form you want. Okay, so if we take this little equation, this y equals 5/3 x plus 5, and we want to graph the equation, well, we can just, as we did before, choose a value for x and find y, or choose a value for y and find x. Okay, so if we choose 0 for our x and find the y to go with it, we'll just plug in the 0, and 0 times 5/3 is 0, plus 5 is 5, so y will be equal to 5. So we have the ordered pair 0, 0. Okay, then if we decide that, wouldn't it be nice to choose 3? No. Yes, choose 3 for our y, for our x, I mean, so that it will cancel. And then we can say, okay, 5/3 times 3 plus 5. Well, the 3's will cancel, and we will have 5 plus 5, which is 10. So there we have y equals 10. Okay. Now, what if we decide to let y equal 0? Okay, y is going to be equal to 0, and we'll find the x to go with it. Okay, here's our 0 for y, and that is equal to 5/3 x plus 5. Well, to solve this equation, we know the first thing we want to do is subtract this 5 from both sides. So minus 5, minus 5. And then we'll have negative 5 is equal to 5/3 x. Then we know we want to get the x by itself, isolate that x. So we'll multiply 5/3 times 3/5 right here and right here. The 3's will cancel, the 5's will cancel. You still have a 1, x. And on this side, well, if we put the negative 5/1, our 5's will cancel. And we'll have 3 minus 5, or 3/1. 3 times a negative 1/1. And 3 times a negative 1 is negative 3. So now we know that x is equal to negative 3. Okay, well, we have 3 ordered pairs, and we can graph those 3 ordered pairs, plot those points, and graph the equation. Or we can plot the intercepts. Okay, so to plot the intercepts, when we're talking about intercepts, we're talking about the points where the line or the graph of the equation hits the x-axis and the y-axis. So if you have noticed in the homework you've been doing, anytime you have a 0 in one of your as one of your either your x or your y in your ordered pair, then it's going to hit that axis, one of those axes. And I just noticed I did get y equals 5 for this first one, but I wrote 0. So y is equal to 5, not 0. Okay, so we have the point 0, 5, 3, 10, and negative 3 and 0. And what we can see is that the point 0, 5 is going to hit an axis, and the point negative 3 and 0 is going to hit an axis. So now let's just plot those points. Okay. The point 0, 5, well, x is 0, y is 5. So right here is the point 0, 5. Okay. The other intercept is the point negative 3, 0. So y is negative 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 3, and x is negative 3, and y is 0. So the point where those two meet is right there on the x-axis. So we can just go ahead and draw the graph or the line for that equation just using those 2 points. Now, of course, we found that third point, the point 3 and 10. So if we look at the point 3 and 10, x is 3, y is 10, and we follow those up, it will be right here. And it looks like I drew my graph a little bit off. There we go. Okay. At any rate, it still would truly be on the graph. Okay. When you are plotting the intercepts, all you have to do is choose 0 for the x and then choose 0 for the y. And because a straight line, you can make a straight line with any 2 points. All you really need is those 2 intercepts.